So thank you so much for being here. A few faces from the last session. I know it's been a really long day. And we're going to kick things off by showing the video that was shown in the plenary room earlier today about the future of money, because I think that nicely summarizes many of the themes that are being discussed here today. So let's kick things off with the video.
Imagine an ocean full of information, having all the answers to your future, where we could fish out what we want. And a super brain called Mr. Sage doing it all. What if Mr. Sage met the wealthiest person on earth, Mr. Money? It could change lives forever, where things happen as we think or even before. Things happen much faster, more accurate, more secure and transparent, where life is fair and far too evolved, and everything you need to know has already been done for you. Finding a solution for your specific problem every time, or doing all the complicated calculations for your finances. A world where Mr. Sage is omnipresent. But how safe would that be? If devices knew what you wanted and delivered results with destructive consequences? What about hackers? Cybercrime could jeopardize the safety of critical information and data, ultimately stealing money from you. But fortunately, humans have always been a step ahead. Having the power to plan for a better tomorrow while in the race for a safer today. The power to create, recreate, rectify, and eliminate. Imagine floating over this ocean of answers with the combined powers of Mr. Money and Mr. Sage. What would that day look like? A dream, a story, or a changed future forever?
So that's a bit of an insight into what's happening in the intersection between money and information. So to wrap things up, it's been a really long day. We've had plenty of sessions, covered a lot of ground. We kicked things off earlier today by looking at the industry challenges and the companies that are working in that space. We moved on to, there's a door over there. Then we looked at John Hagel and Val Srinivas introduced us to patterns of disruption in wholesale banking. So they talked about how companies and entire industries are disrupted by technological change and by changing business models. And they gave us a very comprehensive overview of the sort of risks that companies face because of such changes. After lunch, we had a look at the fintech initiatives that are happening here in Switzerland. There was a huge metaphor about cheese, an extended metaphor, went on and on, all types of cheeses, very comprehensive. And we got to see the multitude of fintech startups that are being developed here. There's almost 200 startups in the fintech space. Only here in Switzerland. After that, in the plenary room, we looked at the future of money, which kicked off with a video we just saw. It had an engaging conversation with very disparate points of view of how money will behave in the near future. After that, we ran a session led by myself, looking at financial technologies and principles for how to think of technology as a function over time. So we looked at things such as exponential change. We looked at the unintended consequences of technology that it tends to bring across. We talked about things like combinatorial evolution, which is the process where technologies combine with other technologies over time to create new technologies. And we wrapped things up by looking at what we call centaurs, which are the combination of machine intelligence with human intelligence. So all in all, we've had a very long day with several points of view of what's happening in the space of fintech and innovation. Tomorrow, we'll see even more. We're kicking things off at 9 a.m. We're doing more startup challenges. We're looking at the fintech hubs in Europe, Middle East, and Africa. And I welcome you here at 9, where I'll be handing over the baton to tomorrow's anchor. And I welcome you to, before you leave, to please rate the sessions in which you participated earlier today. And a quick reminder about the coffee outside. It has the best coffee of Sibos right here. And to please donate to the earthquake victims. And with that, I thank you for a very long day. And if you have any questions or remarks, do let us know. Thank you.